back to some more Might and Blade Bannerlord. And before I really get started and go anywhere, I'm going to see what I can learn in the trade menu about if any of my goods are showing me a really good place to sell them. The hardwood, I think, is at a really great price here, considering I was buying it for 10 dinars at one point. So I'm gonna sell off all of that now. It seems my only other item showing me a good price is the beer for Bannerlord. So I think that's gonna be where I try and go first. Okay, so my original destination changed after stopping by a town and seeing the prices in Audok, where I could get over 600 for fine steel. So yeah, I just stopped by here and decided to just really sell everything because the price was so good. And it seems as though the prices are dropping for my items as I sell them. I don't really want to be getting pretty much robbed by selling things way too cheap. I find some step bandits here that seem to have quite a few prisoners with them, and we're slowing them down, so I'm gonna see if I can liberate those prisoners for my own army. I wasn't expecting some actual decent troops, but I'll definitely take them. Not really sure about this one. It's a lot lighter than my scale mill. Got almost the same body armor, but better leg and arm armor. So I think overall this one might actually be better because it provides more overall protection and slows me down a lot less. So for now I'm gonna wear this. Seems I've found another story mission guy. Yes, I was a junior officer on Nuretze's staff. People say much about the battle that betrays a lack of understanding of Nuretzet's and of the circumstances he faced. Nuretzes had an obligation to avenge the Battanian attacks on our land. He marched out with all the forces he could gather. The Vlandians betrayed us, but that's what you'd expect from honorless barbarians. Fortune favored the enemy. What matters is what we did, what honor required. Perhaps Nuretzes was rash, sending our infantry up into the hills to storm the Battanian fort, but he thought he could grab the pass quickly before the enemy had time to reinforce it. If he had made the other wager, and that turned out to be wrong, people would say he was hesitant. I stayed with Nuretzes until we were forced back to our camp by the Sturgian infantry, and then fought on the battlements. Eventually, we could hold them no longer. I did not see what happened to Nuretzes or our banner. Aurentius got us out of there and got us home. I did not respect Aurentius before, but that day I saw he was worthy to be the emperor. Interesting. While traveling around trying to find places to sell all the resources I'd gathered up from my raiding and trading, I decided that it might be a good idea to try and buy a workshop because I'm carrying like around 75 troops and it's costing me a lot of money. And I was passing by, I think this is Pen Karok or something, and they had a lot of towns that had clay. I think there were two or else three of them bound to it. So I think that is a good thing for making lots of money, but I think I'm going to invest half my money into buying this workshop there, and hopefully it's a good investment because the town gets lots of clay. So opening a pottery shop should hopefully pay off well. I found another story guy. Sweet. Yes, we will never forget that day. The day we learned that the old men who claimed they had the right to rule us were doddering incompetents. I was with the vanguard. Red apparently knew that the battalions had planned an ambush, because the scouts had told him, but he never bothered to inform us. So up we went, along a lovely wooded stream, until the battalion arrows started whooshing in from all sides. We had our shields, but you can only point them in one direction at once, so we started to drop one by one until the battalion falxmen came screaming out of the trees. Ordinarily, they'd be very vulnerable to archers, but, well, old Neretzes hadn't thought to send any along with us, so they came upon us, chopping and slashing, and we fought until we broke. I ran too, and any man who tells you he wouldn't in no circumstances is a liar. When I was sitting in the cold woods later that night, hiding with other fugitives, listening to the barbarians whoop and holler as they chopped off heads as trophies, I promised them that no Calredian soldier should again be led into battle by an emperor who knows so little of war. Wow, the whole battle seems really brutal. The woman in our family passed down the art of healing from generation to generation, and other services that can be accomplished with herbs. But for all our skill we remained poor, while richly robed, well-fed men with half our skill walked about towns tending to the lords and ladies. By the time I became a woman, I was sick of filthy huts and pucking babies. I came to the towns and inquired after which households amongst those who had wealth might have a patient for me. Of course, when I showed up at the door in my torn, stained dress, they slammed it in my face. So I acquired some dinars, I will not say how, and with it bought a silk robe and some jewelry. This got me inside the doors of rich men's houses, and the cures I worked, and the reputation I earned have done the rest. Damn, this is sounding good, but I've noticed something. More dinars is spent on war than anything else, so if someone raised in an army and doesn't want to lose their investment to infected wounds and fevers, well, it might be worthwhile to employ me. Well, you're definitely right there, and you are expensive, but I could use your skills. I ran off to join the Brotherhood in the woods as a kid. I don't know if I ever believed that they gave money to the poor, as the stories say. I just didn't want to till someone else's land until I dropped dead like my father, and I thought maybe the brothers would be better than common bandits. They were and there weren't, you might say. Dozens of bands, dozens of chiefs. Some wanted to be more than bandits, to try and treat the poor decently, and some were happy being bandits. We needed to eat, so most of the time the bandits won out. But there was one chief we had, he took things too far. Made peasants hand over not just their grain, but their daughters. So I told him Wethand was his name, what I thought of that. A few weeks later, got sent to a village to buy some boots. Found a whole detachment of the town watch there waiting for me. Brought me to town and charged me with a dozen murders, none of which I did. No question Vatan shopped me. Good news is, a week after I was taken, he got knifed while he slept. So the old brotherhood, the noble brotherhood, it's not quite dead yet. I am, though, most likely. That sucks for you. Look, if I want to give this tale a really happy ending, you think you could get me out of here? Prove in a duel that I'm innocent. Some of the brothers, they really are my brothers. They'd pay you well. Um, I am kind of in need of more companions, so I guess why not join me? Okay, so I've now got a Bridges here assigned to be my surgeon with a good medicine skill, and Althgar turned out to have really good scouting, so I've set him as my scout. I'm not sure what kind of bonus that's going to give me, but better than nothing, I guess. And I might try and find some other people to maybe make my engineer and quartermaster that aren't these ones here, because their skills aren't great. But it'll probably take me a while to run into somebody I can actually assign those roles to. But for now, that'll have to do me for Might and Blade Bannerlord. I think I made some really good progress. I found some new companions, made a load of money which I invested in a workshop, and I've made some progress towards completing the main story mission. Next time, I think I'm going to try a bit more reading, maybe fight the Azrai a bit more, and if possible, find a weak lord and see if I can defeat him in battle, but that's risking an awful lot. So, I'll see what happens. But until then,